a tradition like none other, uttered by Jim Nantz about the Masters Golf Stable Tournament, a place where people fall in love and dream about the game of golf. I have a passion for the game. It has changed my life. I have met and experienced great people and things because of it. Let's start from the beginning and tee this one off from the first tee. The game of golf officially became a sport when gentlemen golfers of Leith formed its first club in 1744. This club was in Scotland, and it was called St. Andrews, the first 18-hole course ever in the birthplace of golf. This course is still around today, and it often holds the Open Championship for the PGA and European Tours. My involvement in golf. I was a 4-year varsity member of my high school team. My senior year, I was Conference Player of the Year of our conference, and I helped my team become the first team in school history to advance in sectionals. I made a lot of memories and a lot of lifelong friends to this sport that I would have not made if I never went out. I have made great memories with friends. For example, one of the people I've gotten very close to is my very good teammate, and we wouldn't have gotten as close as we are now if it weren't for the game of golf. I can think of multiple shots where either one of us has holed out or other people I've played with along the way. It is very fun when someone either hits a hole-in-one, which I've been a part of. I've never hit one, and you get to celebrate that as a group and all your friends who are in it. Now that I've covered some of the common golf memories of mine, let's drive this one onto the next green. Putting makes up 40% of shots on the PGA Tour, and you need 29 shots to shoot 71 for PGA pros. Now, a person who has a handicap of 17 needs 34 to shoot 89. Handicap is what golfers use to determine how good they are. For example, if you are a scratch golfer, that means you shoot around par every time or below. That is where you want to be. If you are a +2, that means you shoot under 2 under, and if you are a handicap 17 or 18, then you would shoot 18 or 17 over par, and so on and so forth. Learning how to hit certain shots is something that I have really taken into consideration when I play golf. One area of expertise that I've gotten better at with age is hitting bunker shots. It took me a long time to learn how to hit them, and I was always scared to, but with practice and repetition, I became good at it. Drawing and fading the ball, which I will get into later, was also a major skill I needed to learn to become better at the game of golf. One other skill I learned is punching. Punching is when you are under some trees and you need to hit a low shot, and I have hit a lot of those because I've been under a lot of trees. There can be hazards in golf. OB, which is out of bounds, is something you want to avoid. When you hit an OB, which is usually marked by white stakes, you have to go back to where you hit the ball, take a penalty stroke, and hit from there. For example, on my first shot, if I went OB, I would have to count my first shot, take a penalty stroke, and then hit another shot. So I'd be hitting 3 from the tee, and then if I hit it back into the fairway, I'd be hitting 4. It is a thing you want to avoid when you're playing golf. Now, if you hit in the water, that's a whole different story. When you hit your first drive in your water, you take your stroke that you hit it into, a penalty stroke, and then where you went in at the water. So it's nice because you gain the distance, but you still have to take a penalty stroke, and it's not as harsh as the OB. Let's keep hitting these fairways and get into putting it in the hole. One thing about golf that is different from many sports is its etiquette. One thing you need to make sure of doing while other people are hitting is being quiet. For me, I really don't care if people are talking my backswing, which is when you're right here in your swing, but for other people it can really screw them up and they can get very mad about it. I would highly advise you to stay quiet because sometimes I talk and people get mad. Another thing I've learned, which I was not aware of, is walking in people's line. When you're on the green, what that means is the point from where your ball is to where the hole. And what you don't want to do is walk in between that, because if your footprint lands there, it can affect the roll of the ball and make it not go into the hole. Also, while the person you are playing with is hitting, you want to make sure you are not in any of their line of sight so that they don't become distracted. Some of the golf lingo that I use, and most golfers use, are hook and draw. A hook is not a very good thing. For a righty, it's when you hit the ball hard left, and a draw is more of a good thing. It's when you hit slightly left. A slice is also bad. It's when you hit it far right for a righty. And a fade is decent is when you hit it slightly to the right. A chunk is where you hit the ground very hard before the ball. And a shank is where you hit the heel of the club, which is right here. I broke this club when I was playing at this course in South Carolina. It was very sad. But that's the heel of the club, and when you hit the ball right there, it shoots off to the right, and it becomes a shank. A top is where you hit the top of the ball hits the top of the face, and it doesn't go anywhere. I have let you see the world of golf, and it is a mental and challenging sport. It is a test of human patience. I have found a lot of joy in the game and hope that you can find those fairways and greens like I have. Hit them straight.